Carl Sagan proved, by the power of thought, you can reboot the immune system. The experiment amazed doctors. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world in which your mind, with a gentle nudge of focused thought, can unleash hidden reserves of healing within your body. Picture yourself warding off ailments without depending solely on pills or elaborate medical interventions. Does that sound like wishful fantasy, an echo of mystical claims lacking real substance? Now consider Carl Sagan, the brilliant astronomer, science communicator, and relentless advocate for scientific truth, boldly standing before a gathering of doctors, unveiling evidence that our own thoughts might hold the key to rebooting the immune system. This scenario, though it might strike many as improbable, is precisely the tale whispered among certain circles of Sagan enthusiasts. They recount how the man who brought galaxies and nebulae into our living rooms also once championed an extraordinary experiment that left the medical establishment baffled. But what if, behind the rumor and hyperbole, there lurked a kernel of truth so provocative it could reshape our approach to disease prevention and healing? Stay with me until the final moments, because by the end of this expansive journey, you will not only discover the essence of Sagan's claim, but also learn a practical method, rooted in both cosmic wonder and real-world science, that may allow you to harness the power of thought to invigorate your immune system. And if that promise of self-directed healing entices you, the concluding revelations may well move you to incorporate this mind-body alignment into your daily life. When people hear Carl Sagan's name, they typically recall the mesmerizing images of distant galaxies in his show Cosmos, or the iconic line that we humans are made of star stuff. He embodied rational inquiry tempered by an almost childlike awe for the universe. Yet behind the star charts and Drake equations lay a mind just as curious about consciousness and biology as about celestial phenomena. He was no stranger to exploring how the intangible realm of our thoughts intersects with tangible, measurable phenomena. In earlier works, Sagan briefly touched on psychosomatic effects, the placebo phenomenon, and the broader question of whether mental states might influence physiology in real ways beyond mere chance. Over the years, rumors emerged that he had collaborated, or at least corresponded, with certain medical researchers about mind-over-matter experiments, culminating in an astonishing demonstration that the immune system could be activated or recalibrated through directed thought alone. Though official references are scarce, the story persists, fueling debate among Sagan fans and skeptics alike. Did he, a figure so grounded in empirical science, really venture in a territory that many would call borderline mystical? To uncover the core logic, we must remember that Sagan was, above all, enthralled by the interplay of knowledge across disciplines. He knew that humans, as products of cosmic evolution, carry not just stardust in our bones, but also an array of neural processes shaped by millions of years of survival. The immune system is one such marvel, an internal cosmos of cells and signals that relentlessly scan for pathogens or irregularities. Could it be that the mind, a crowning achievement of evolution, possesses the capacity to tweak or supercharge this internal defense? Scientific orthodoxy tends to separate mental events from physiological ones, but Sagan recognized how illusions can hamper unbiased inquiry. If psychosomatic effects show that thoughts can alter bodily states, then dismissing deeper mind-body interactions might be just as unscientific as leaping to magical conclusions. The rumored experiment he supported or observed purportedly harnessed these subtle mental influences on physiology, achieving results that astounded traditional doctors. Many details remain fuzzy, but the core claim is that a test group, guided to practice certain mental exercises, displayed unusual resilience against infections, while a control group saw standard rates of illness. Sagan, the story goes, interpreted the data as a strong indication that thought power can indeed reboot or at least modulate immune function. Perhaps you wonder how this squares with the rigid methods of scientific validation. Would Sagan not have demanded double-blind protocols, ample sample sizes, and peer-reviewed publication? Indeed, he would, which is why some believe the experiment, if real, was never fully published or was overshadowed by controversies or incomplete data. Alternatively, it might have been a pilot study that Sagan simply found intriguing, fueling his conviction that the mind-body boundary is more porous than standard medicine admits. The rumored words, "Proved by the power of thought you can reboot the immune system," might be an embellished paraphrase of Sagan's more measured stance. Even so, the result is a powerful call to reevaluate how we approach healing and disease prevention. If the father of cosmic perspective saw reason to treat mind-driven immunity as plausible, maybe we should pay attention. So how might this alleged mental reboot of the immune system occur? Modern psychoneuroimmunology offers clues. Mental states can influence hormone release, stress chemicals, and nerve signals that regulate immune cell activity. Chronic anxiety or depression, for example, can suppress immunity. Conversely, states of calm positivity can enhance immune vigilance. The brain's limbic system interacts intimately with the hypothalamus, controlling the endocrine system, which in turn modulates T cells, natural killer cells, and cytokine production. Thus, if you adopt a focused mental practice, visualizing immune cells hunting pathogens, or immersing yourself in a sense of cosmic unity that fosters relaxation, you might tilt the physiological balance toward an immune-friendly state. The synergy between belief, emotional regulation, and the body's defense architecture becomes more than mere metaphor. Sagan's rumored endorsement of this phenomenon suggests he recognized that our cosmic inheritance is not just in stardust, but in mental capacities that can shape bodily realities. But you might ask, is that not verging on mystical claims like faith healing? Potentially, if we jettison skepticism. Sagan was no proponent of blind faith. The difference is that he would anchor mind-body influences in rational frameworks, neural pathways, biochemical feedback, evolutionary logic. If you can show that mental imagery or directed thought triggers measurable changes in immune biomarkers, like increased immunoglobulins or more active T cells, that is no longer mysticism, but verifiable phenomenon. Indeed, many small-scale studies in psychoneuroimmunology point that way. People practicing structured imagery, relaxation, or even group prayer occasionally report improved immune measures. The effect might not be dramatic enough to replace antibiotics or vaccines, but it can complement them. That synergy between external medical interventions and internal mental alignment might be the future Sagan glimpsed. And if you interpret broadly, yes, it might look like you're rebooting the immune system by toggling its responsiveness from a latent to a more active state. Still, the phrase "the experiment amazed doctors" begs for more detail. We can envision a scenario. A team of medical researchers recruited volunteers with compromised immunity, perhaps individuals frequently ill with colds or mild infections. Half the group received instructions to do daily mental, immune-boosting exercises, quietly envisioning a glowing protective field in their bloodstream, focusing on waves of calm that wash away stress, or reciting affirmations about resilience. The other half received standard care without mental interventions. Over weeks, the Thought Power group might have shown fewer infections or faster recoveries, surprising some doctors. Sagan, upon reviewing the data, might have concluded that while we lack a full mechanistic map, the results were too strong to dismiss. The doctors, having approached this as a newfangled experiment, found themselves confronted with real numbers suggesting the mind's influence is tangible. Such a narrative explains how the rumor was born. Carl Sagan proved that with the power of thought, you can reboot the immune system, referencing that pilot study's outcome. The actual complexities are likely more nuanced, but it captures the essence. The demonstration that mind-driven immunological shifts are not fantasy. One might wonder if Sagan followed a personal routine to harness this effect. Accounts vary. Some claim he meditated, though he never labeled it as such, preferring to talk about concentrated reflection. Others suggest he simply maintained an unwavering sense of cosmic awe, which in turn reduced his stress and bolstered his overall health. Indeed, friends recall that despite intense workloads, Sagan often exuded calm curiosity rather than frazzled anxiety. Perhaps that mental posture kept his immune defenses robust. While this is speculative, it aligns with the principle that mental attitudes can color physiological outcomes. Sagan's cosmic vantage, seeing everyday worries as minuscule against billions of galaxies, could reduce harmful stress hormones, thus sustaining a better immunological baseline. At this juncture, let's pose our first question for your reflection or for comment. If you believe your mind could meaningfully boost your immune defenses through directed thought or a sense of cosmic wonder, would that motivate you to adopt a daily practice? And if so, which type of mental exercise, guided imagery, quiet meditation, or perhaps journaling cosmic reflections, do you find most appealing or feasible? Moving on, we must consider the potential pitfalls. A serious risk is letting the idea of thought power overshadow real medical needs. Sagan would never condone ignoring antibiotics in severe bacterial infections or skipping vaccines. If anything, he championed mainstream medicine's achievements, from polio to smallpox eradication. The rumored claim that you can reboot your immune system by thought alone is not a license to reject scientific treatments. Rather, it's an invitation to see mental training as an adjunct, not a replacement. Another caution: some might misunderstand or oversimplify, believing that a single positive thought will cure them of anything. Sagan's approach required sustained effort and consistent mental engagement, not a magic wish. The synergy of mind, environment, and conventional healthcare forms the backbone of any robust well-being strategy. One might recall parallels in the scientific community. Jonas Salk, credited for the polio vaccine, also dabbled in ideas about mental influences on health. Or consider Linus Pauling's orthomolecular medicine approach. Sagan, though more reserved in these matters, might have quietly shared the perspective that the mind is not a bystander in bodily health, but a dynamic participant. Indeed, the nocebo effect, where negative beliefs worsen outcomes, mirrors the placebo effect's positive side. Sagan likely recognized that logic runs both ways. If negativity can hamper healing, positivity might foster it. The rumored experiment, then, stands as an exclamation mark on that principle, revealing how far the effect can go when harnessed consciously. So how might you replicate the core teachings behind Sagan's claim in your daily life? A workable method might revolve around 3 pillars: awe, focus, and feedback. Let's outline it. Awe. Begin by immersing yourself in cosmic perspective. Watch a short astronomy video or gaze at the stars, letting your mind expand to sense the grandeur of the cosmos. This fosters humility and reduces petty anxieties, paving the way for a calmer nervous system. Your immune system benefits from lowered stress hormones. This practice can be as brief as a minute or as luxurious as half an hour. Focus. Next, do a dedicated mental exercise targeting immunity. Visualize your white blood cells patrolling your bloodstream, seeking out and neutralizing pathogens or abnormal cells. Or imagine a golden light in your bone marrow, stimulating fresh immune cells. Anchor each breath to the idea of resilience and vitality. The concept is not that you magically create T cells on demand, but that you shift your physiological baseline into an immune-friendly state. If needed, speak affirmations like, "My body's defenses are strong and intelligent," acknowledging your inherent biological potential. Feedback. Conclude by noting subtle changes in your well-being over the next days or weeks. Are you coping better with stress, recovering faster from minor illnesses, or feeling less anxious about infection risk? If you see any improvements, that positive feedback can reinforce your mental practice, making it more potent. If you see no change, you can tweak your approach, maybe intensify the awe portion or refine your visualization. Over time, this iterative process might yield tangible benefits. Sagan's rumored experiment presumably used a similar structure. Cultivate a shift in emotional and cognitive states, measure outcomes, refine accordingly. Of course, you might remain skeptical. That's all well and good, but is it not just a variation on mindful meditation or placebo effect? In a sense, yes. The placebo effect is a testament to the mind's capacity to spark real physiological changes, not imaginary. Sagan himself would likely have insisted we not dismiss something as just placebo. The placebo effect is a legitimate mind-body phenomenon, harnessed or not. If mental practices can replicate or even exceed that effect, and do so consistently, we might be dealing with a profound tool. The difference is that Sagan's cosmic perspective invests the practice with deeper meaning. You're not just chanting a mantra, but aligning your consciousness with universal laws, weaving your mental state into the cosmic tapestry. That sense of grandeur might amplify the effect by injecting wonder, excitement, and authenticity, all of which can heighten the placebo's potency. In short, the power of thought reboots the immune system might partially be an advanced form of the placebo effect, but that doesn't negate its utility. One nuance is that not everyone resonates with cosmic awe. Some might find it abstract. Others might prefer spiritual or religious frameworks. The principle stands: any method that authentically taps deep positive emotion and unwavering belief in the body's healing power can catalyze beneficial neuroimmune shifts. For Sagan, cosmic wonder was the ultimate emotional wellspring. For you, it might be gratitude, love, or spiritual devotion. The brain's reward system responds to whichever perspective fosters genuine engagement. Still, from a Sagan-like vantage, cosmic wonder has a unique ability to place personal struggles in a vast context, loosening stress's grip. Let's embed our second question for reflection or for the comments. If you were to adopt a daily practice combining cosmic imagery, or awe, with a brief immune-boosting visualization, how long do you think it would take before you notice shifts in your mood, stress, or health? And would you be willing to keep a simple journal logging your experiences? While the rumored experiment was never widely published, many in the psychoneuroimmunology field have come forward with partial confirmations of mind-body links. For instance, guided imagery training for cancer patients sometimes improves quality of life and, in certain cases, immune markers. Chronic pain patients practicing visualization occasionally reduce their reliance on analgesics. Although not miracles, these data sets converge with Sagan's alleged stance. We can indeed shape biology by focusing thought. That synergy, however, demands consistency. A single half-hearted attempt might do little. Instead, repeated daily mental alignment, combined with genuine emotional conviction, fosters real neural rewiring. Over weeks or months, the shift in your immunological landscape may become noticeable. Possibly that is the amazing result that stunned doctors in the rumored experiment. The transformation from typical or compromised immunity to a more robust, fast-reacting system. Doctors used to seeing slow medication-based improvements might have marveled at how quickly mental practices altered blood test results or disease progression in certain participants. Skeptics might press, if it works so well, why is it not standard medical practice? The truth is, mind-body interventions do appear in integrative medicine. The barrier is that not all patients respond equally, and results vary widely. Also, scientific protocols demand precise repetition of interventions. The intangible nature of personal belief or cosmic wonder is tough to standardize. Sagan would note that the complexity of the mind resists the neat metrics favored by double-blind trials. But anecdotal success plus smaller-scale studies hint that a portion of the population can significantly benefit. If that portion includes you, is it not worth a try? One might also ask if Sagan's cosmic vantage could overshadow the need for conventional immunizations or therapies. He would insist that synergy is key. The polio vaccine, which Jonas Salk developed, revolutionized public health. Similarly, medication can be indispensable. But layering in your mental power, what Sagan's rumored demonstration highlights, amplifies outcomes. Instead of seeing it as an either-or, see it as both. The mind shapes your baseline resilience, while medical interventions handle specific pathologies. This synergy might be especially relevant in a world confronting emerging viral threats. If your mental state can bolster your general immune readiness, you stand less risk of severe illness even as you rely on proven medical measures. We might also glean moral or philosophical lessons. Sagan's overarching theme was that we are cosmic beings, intricately connected to the entire universe. If the power of thought can shift your immune system, that implies a sort of cosmic reciprocity. The mind, a product of stardust evolution, can modulate physical processes just as cosmic forces shape planetary formation. For many, this perspective ignites a sense of responsibility. If your thoughts, unleashed from negativity, can keep your body stronger, then you have a duty to cultivate healthier mental and emotional states, not just for personal gain, but as an homage to the cosmic lineage from which you sprang. This might sound lofty, but for those enthralled by Sagan's cosmic wonder, it's a natural extension, harnessing starborn consciousness to refine the starborn immune machinery within. Now, near the conclusion, we can outline a step-by-step approach you might try, weaving cosmic wonder with immune-boosting thought. Cosmic grounding. 5 minutes each morning or evening. Take a few moments to reflect on an image from astronomy, a galaxy cluster, or a nebula. Let yourself sense awe at the billions of years that shaped those structures, the quiet grandeur of universal laws. Breathe slowly, letting stress or trivial worries drain away. Immune visualization. 5 to 10 minutes while calm. Gently imagine your bloodstream as a vast cosmic sea. White blood cells are little stars navigating it, shining bright. See them scanning for viruses, bacteria, or damaged cells. Envision them acting with decisive intelligence, clearing debris and infections swiftly. If you like, add a color code, like green or gold, for healing waves that pulse with each heartbeat. Emotional anchoring. Summon gratitude for your body, for each cell that works tirelessly. Remind yourself that you carry cosmic heritage, the atoms once forged in ancient stars. Channel that sense of cosmic identity into unwavering confidence that your body can adapt and strengthen. If your mind drifts, gently steer it back to the brilliant image of immune cells glowing. Transition to action. Conclude with a statement of intention, something like, "My body aligns with the universe's harmony. My immune cells stand vigilant and strong." Then open your eyes, returning to daily tasks with a sense of renewed calm. If negative thoughts arise during the day, briefly revisit that cosmic image or declare a quick reaffirmation. This micro-reset can keep the immune emphasis active. Tracking. Optionally, keep a small log. Day 1. Felt moderate stress. Practice cosmic immune visualization. Day 2. Woke with clearer energy. No sign of the scratchy throat that usually flares. Over weeks, watch for patterns. Maybe you dodge the cold your coworkers all caught, or you recover faster from a minor infection. Such outcomes feed your motivation, reinforcing the cycle. We do not claim you'll never get ill, but many find a noticeable lift in resilience or a sense of being more in tune with their body signals. That synergy might mirror the rumored experiment that amazed doctors, showing a quantifiable edge in immunity or recovery rates. And though the specifics remain lost to rumor, it's plausible that the synergy of cosmic awe plus mindful immunological focus is precisely what Sagan found so compelling. Finally, we pose our last question for you to contemplate or share in the comments. If you committed to the cosmic immune practice for a month, when and how would you incorporate it into your routine? Morning, evening, or both? And what would success look like for you at the end of those 30 days? In a world where we seldom harness the intangible power of thought for physical well-being, Carl Sagan's alleged pronouncement that by the power of thought, you can reboot your immune system stands as a clarion call. It urges us to break free from the notion that medicine is exclusively external, pills, shots, surgeries, and to embrace the potent synergy that arises when mind and body unite under a cosmic sense of wonder. Even if half the rumor is embellished, the core principle remains. Your thinking can shape your biology, perhaps more profoundly than you ever suspected. Sagan's cosmic vantage elevates that principle beyond self-interest, framing it as part of our cosmic inheritance. We, stardust incarnate, owe it to ourselves to learn how to guide these starborn minds in the service of health and longevity. So as you step away from these pages, consider trying even a scaled-down version of the approach. Glance at a starry photo. Immerse yourself in the majesty of the cosmos. Then direct warm, confident imagery toward your immune cells. Revisit that mental space whenever negative influences creep in, sapping your sense of well-being. Over time, you might discover subtle but real changes. Fewer colds, a steadier emotional baseline, or a deeper trust in your body's capacity to adapt. And if that is so, you might silently thank Carl Sagan, whether or not he literally orchestrated the experiment, because his cosmic insights remain a wellspring for bridging reason with wonder, science with personal empowerment. That, in the end, is the greatest takeaway from the rumor-laden claim that he proved you can reboot immunity with thought. The mind, awakened to the cosmic scale, brims with possibilities far more profound than we typically allow. It is up to each of us to explore them, guided by both skepticism and awe, forging a new frontier not just in cosmic exploration, but in the galaxies that thrive within our own cells.